First reading from the book of Job. Sickness and suffering, the dark side of human life, the dark side of our faith in God, and the gospel about Jesus surrounded by the suffering. He heals the sick and comforts the brokenhearted. Job's lamentations, the cries of a holy man in agony. Not those words, a holy man, an upright man, a good man. He is in pain. We all can identify with the sentiments, the thoughts, and the feelings of Job. Job is every man, every woman. We can never get away from suffering. Suffering in one shape or form. At some point in life, we all will go through what Job is going through, or he was going through. When life becomes drudgery and misery, no joy, only boredom, months of delusion, nights of grief. In the night you wait for the morning, when the morning comes you wait for the evening, the slow and pointless passage of time, the slow and pointless passage of time. This happens when you go through especially moments of loss and pain. A loss of anything, loss of health, loss of a loved one, loss of a job, loss of anything. You feel, what is the point of this life? Where is God in all this? That perennial question, why do bad things happen to good people? Job is an innocent man, he's a good man, an upright man, a holy man. And there he is in agony and he is crying to God, where are you? Note this is the book of Job is a didactic poem intended to refute the ancient Jewish belief that God rewards the good and punishes the wicked. Is that our belief too? That God will bless the good people and He'll punish the wicked ones? If something goes wrong in your life, you think God is punishing you? So when the Lord is blessing you, you think you are a good person. Suppose something goes wrong, you think God is punishing you. There was a very ancient belief. And here is this book of Job refuting that belief. This is wrong. When you are a good person, a good Catholic, a practicing Catholic, good faith in God, going to Mass every day, still life can go wrong and bad things may happen to you. Tragedies of life, sufferings of life have nothing to do with whether you are a holy person or not. Difficult to understand, isn't it? That a good God allows suffering and tragedies in your life even when you live a good life. C.S. Lewis in 1940 wrote a book, The Problem of Pain. A man of great intellect, brilliantly with the philosophy and logic analyzes what is the point of pain. How can we believe in God when we have pain? But 21 years later, he wrote a different book. A different book on grief. A close-up, a look on grief. A grief observed in close-up. In the meantime, from 1940 to 61, he went through some devastating suffering in his personal life with the loss of his wife, whose name was Joy. He wrote a book about his wife, Surprised by Joy. But that joy would not last from a human point of view. She suffered from cancer, and there was Louis witnessing his wife going through pain and suffering, and it was very personal. From a cerebral, philosophic understanding of pain, he comes to a very personal understanding of pain, looking at his wife in agony. But Louis doesn't lose his faith in God, just as Job doesn't lose his faith in God. Here is Job crying out to God, asking all questions, venting his frustration and agony, everything. But instead of running away from God, Job keeps on holding on to God, and the same with C.S. Lewis. He realizes, my love for my wife Joy has become deeper after her death. Because for the realization that our life was fulfilled together. It was a life of fulfillment together. But I believe there is a better fulfillment yet to come. Hence I hold on. Again, Louis says, the moments I felt that God slammed the door in my face when I cried to him. I could hear the God of the one I believed in bolting the door from the inside. Again, a double bolting from the inside. Then absolute silence. But I held on, waiting outside. What a lesson. What a lesson from C.S. Lewis and more from Job. Job comes to a realization later on he comes to a realization. I have lost my health, my wealth, my family, everything gone, but my Redeemer lives. My Redeemer lives. Everything is gone, but still I believe in him. It's all because of my lack of understanding. I see things with a very narrow vision. My understanding is only of this moment but I can't see far enough. How can I see far enough? What about the picture of what has God in his mind when he allows these things in my... I don't know. But now I can see God has some plan in all this. In other words, dear friends, we can make sense of human suffering and pain only at the foot of the cross. At the foot of the cross, our faith is purified, deepened, and strengthened. Now, with this, put the picture of Jesus on the cross. An innocent man, the Son of God. The innocent man on the cross. There he is in agony. And he cries out, Father, where are you? I believe everything that Jesus went through, his suffering, his cross, everything he went through was to teach us how to face this life, the agonies of this life, the sufferings of this life, the frustrations of this life, the drudgery and misery of this life with trust in God. But like Job, you and me, we can always give vent to our frustrations because we trust in God. Prayer means speaking to God as Job does. Whatever you feel, anger, let it out. Frustration, let it out. Despair, let it out. Because you trust in God like a friend, you can speak your mind. But like Job or C.S. Lewis, you don't run away because he is the only hope and our future. To close, just some more thoughts. Look into the gospel today. The Lord heals the sick and comforts the brokenhearted. Don't you feel like asking a question, where is the need for healing? First of all, why didn't the Lord stop those suffering? Why didn't He prevent that suffering? The need for healing comes because there is suffering. Why does the Lord prevent the suffering? There's need for healing. Healing is required only because of suffering. Why doesn't the Lord stop the suffering? Why there is pain at all? If there's no pain, where is the need for healing? That's a human question. Now, put these two together in today's psalm. Very interesting picture. 2 lines. He heals the brokenhearted. He binds up all their wounds. The next line is very interesting. He fixes the number of the stars. He calls each one by its name. In 4 lines, everything about God. On the one hand, he is playing with the stars, taking care of the whole universe. With the other hand, he is bandaging your wounds. Does that make sense? This mighty God does 2 things. At the same time, he is running this universe, taking care of all the stars, giving them names. At the same time, he is bandaging your wounds. These wounds are, this thorn in the flesh, these wounds are good for you, but I am bandaging them. God in his wisdom will give us thorns in our flesh, sufferings in our body, agonies in our... He gives everything from his wisdom. They are necessary. They are necessary. But at the same time, he will put bandages on them. He will comfort the brokenhearted. At the same time, he is playing with the stars. Keep these 2 pictures in your mind. Suffering one way or the other, you and me will have to face in life. But the God of all consolation, the Jesus on the cross, the good shepherd on the cross, is inviting us to stand with him and hold on to him. When there is no way out, there's always a way